As we're looking at implementing Common Core standards, we're finding that our district is using the rigor and relevance framework to implement Common Core. The relevance end of it is having them connect the learning experience with something personal of their own. And that might mean incorporating more real-world problems, real-world scenarios for the students to look at. So whenever we do that, if we can have students collaborate with one another to come up with answers to these real-world problems, it just makes that a more impactful learning experience.
Common Core it's really about cooperation and collaboration. And you know, it's really hard to measure collaboration and cooperation when you have 20, 30 kids in a classroom, because you can only hit up one table at a time. And so that means that, you know, maybe you have some kids that are on task, some are not. But with the FLEXCAT, I can be at any point in my classroom. I can just have to glance over, click over, hey, get back on task, or hey, you know what, I just heard that idea, that was fantastic, can you share that with the class?
So with the Common Core standards, because everything is pushing for this idea of college readiness and being prepared, you have to consider the student as an individual, because everyone is expected to be college ready. Small conversations become almost more important than sometimes your final assessment. Sometimes your final assessment doesn't show the process of them getting there, and so you don't really know where to fix things. You need to be a lot more critical about the conversations along the way to getting there than just some giant test at the end that you give or a final paper.
The Common Core has come along and it's asked everybody to kind of up their game to the point that the kids need to be conversant with primary, secondary sources. They need to have independent thoughts. They need to come up with authentic arguments and to ground them, to support them in real text, to find details that will make sense to someone else. Not just, I don't know, convince someone that they're right, but convince that their point is valid.
What we want to see now with the Common Core is we want to see less teacher talk, more meaningful teacher talk. And we want that group, we want that lateral conversation going. What you saw happening in that classroom, the communication pieces, the thought processes, the facilitating the learning into a direction that is in-depth and personalized. You won't go and buy that off a shelf. And so I'm confident that we're going the right direction in bringing Common Core into the district, and the FLEXCAT is a communication tool and learning tool to help us do that.